feels wrong, something isn't right. Don't feel I belong in the light. Passion has gone and love's taken flight. Things just feel heavy tonight. I'm tasting no tears.
Hi, hello, and good morning, everyone. I hope you are all having a wonderful day and that it is as nice and sunny where you are as it is for me right now. As per the suggestion of my fellow English student Ewan, this week I will be taking you along with me with what I end up reading over the week. It's something I get asked quite a lot because when I do my Goodreads or go over, the books that I've read, it's mostly just whole texts that I've read, and as English students we tend to read a lot of articles, a lot of critical essays, a lot of poetry, a lot of unseen stuff, and I don't really go through those ever for anyone, not on my Instagram, my Bookstagram, and not when I do my reading videos on here. So we thought it might be interesting, especially if you are interested in doing an English degree, to see what it's actually like and what the reading load is like. So at the moment it is exam and coursework term. So currently I am working on my Shakespeare portfolio that is made up of several Shakespeare essays on topics I'm interested in. The essay that I am writing this week is on our set text Antony and Cleopatra, but that is one of the very few things about the portfolio that is subscribed. And also I am prepping for my Part 1A practical criticism unseen exam, which will be on the final day of term. Yesterday I went to the library to pick up some of the books my DOS suggested that I read for this week's essay, so today I'm going to spend some time reading over those and also rereading the sections of Antony and Cleopatra that I specifically want to look at in my essay. I went for a walk with one of my friends and got some free ice cream, and we went into this cute little secondhand bookstore and I saw this book that I really wanted, but I didn't end up getting it. One of the things I've been really into lately is listening to podcasts or audiobooks while I walk. It's been really helpful for me, especially with when I have a lot of books I need to get read in a week and there's just not enough hours in the day. Joyously going to go and pick up a prescription right now, but I am going to start listening to a podcast on Spotify called Let's Talk About Myths, Baby, and this one's just for fun. Due to a change in deadlines, I had to change my game plan for the day, and I sat out in the sun with some of my friends and started working on my practical criticism work. Today I was looking at section B of the exam, and this is where we get a selection of unseen texts and we have to pick two and compare in a way that we find interesting. I swear it's actually an impossible task to go into town without stopping to look at the second-hand booksellers in the market. There's several different stalls and they change every day. I got really excited because they had these Shakespeare for Kids books, and I thought that I might be able to write on the Hamlet one in my Hamlet portfolio essay. However, my essay is on the O's at the end and this version didn't have them.
You'll come to watch me dancing just for you.
I would normally spend the rest of Sunday prepping and reading for my seminars, but we are doing unseen practice in practical criticism tomorrow, and I have finished my Shakespeare seminars for term, so we decided to go out for a swim. It was my first ever time swimming in the River Cam, and it was so much fun. I took this book with me, but only ended up reading about a chapter. So this morning I've read a couple of texts on gender and sexuality. This is to ground my ideas for my essay in contemporary Renaissance thought. To do that I used this book, which is a collection of Renaissance sources and documents. It covers themes such as religion, education, politics. I find that reading a couple of these is a really good way to get a basic understanding of Renaissance thought around a theme that you're writing an essay for, to ground it in like historical thinking and within the time that the texts are written. I also had a practical criticism seminar this morning, and we did a timed practice for planning an essay in the exam. We looked at Diving into the Wreck, which is a poem by Adrienne Rich. I've been working on my essay for the last couple of hours, and in working through it I have looked at several paintings. I also looked at a John Donne sermon, I think it was sermon 14 on death, and I've also looked at some Elizabeth I speeches for some comparison to Cleopatra. So this is her speech on marriage, and I also looked at her infamous Tilbury speech. Everyone has different ways of keeping track of what they have read, and for me, when it comes to degree stuff, I use a Word document. I find it's the easiest method in terms of being able to go back for referencing and things, just to already have it on my laptop. I have a colour coding system. I'll show you the Word document. It's a lot. I organise it by different term, and then I organise that section down into seminars or papers, etc., things like that. At the moment I am having very minimal amounts of lectures. Most of the lectures for the term are complete. It's the last term of the year, so we're mostly focusing on coursework and our exam. They give us more free study time for that. This is what the document looks like for all of my first year reading up to today. If we look at Easter term, for example, we'll see my faculty seminars on Shakespeare, my reading for my essays, practical criticism reading, and just any extra reading I do. After working on my essay all day yesterday and this morning, I decided to have a little bit of some self-care time, so I went to go and get my hair cut. The hairdresser's was on a strip of Cambridge that I've never been to before, and it had loads of independent coffee shops. The hairdresser recommended one to me. I decided to sit in there and finish my book. I had an elderflower iced tea and it was so good. The thing that I have been working on is making sure that I have time to read for leisure, for pleasure, whatever you want to call it, alongside my degree. It was something I worked on really a lot last term while I was working from home. Sometimes you just need some time to yourself to recharge and to read that's not for a purpose, it's just for you. This week I have been reading Ali Smith's Spring. It's got some really important and poignant themes in it. One thing I would say though is that for me at least, I found it really hard to get into. Writing style is very different to the sort of things I normally read. It's a bit of a challenge, well it was for me anyway, but about halfway through I started getting a bit more into it. This morning I had my supervision on my essay, and to prepare for this I read my supervision partner's essay beforehand. While this was just a fun trip with a friend, I thought I would include it, number one, because it's just fun, and number two, because a lot of the paintings were inspiring some of my thoughts for my rewrite on my essay. There were also so many interesting books in the gift shop. I had to have a lot of restraint, and I only got the one which I'm going to sit and have a bit of a read of now. Last night I finished this one. It was really interesting. I enjoyed being able to actually see the manuscript as well as reading the text. A lot of translations of medieval texts you don't actually get to see what the original manuscript looked like, and some of the drawings in this were just hilarious. I just find things like this fit into my day very easily. Little books like this, mostly I'll read a lot of little essay books or something that focuses on a specific subject, or short stories. This is a medieval text, so it doesn't fit with my current studies, but one of the things I really love about Cambridge is that they promote for you to write on whatever you want to write about, whatever interests you, as long as it fits within the remits of the paper. And next year I am doing both the set medieval paper that everyone has to do, and I'm also swapping out another paper in order to do the early medieval paper. So a very medieval heavy year for me next year, and my game plan is to just pick up books that seem a bit interesting and have a read. And on the note of just sort of reading what interests you, Stephen Fry's The Ode Less Travelled, and this is one of my current forms of revision for my exam. It was recommended to me by one of my seminar leaders. It gets you to sort of write your own poetry, so you learn by doing. Also, you have to like read it with a pencil in hand because it asks you to like mark out the different meter and things like that. I found it so helpful. As soon as my portfolio is out of the way, I will be doing a lot more revision, and I find that reading things that are helpful but also interesting to you will help with revision, because it makes you want to revise, number one, and number two, helps you be more engaged in it. I would recommend this for GCSEs, for A levels, anyone who wants to learn how to scan a poem. Based on my supervision yesterday, I now have a couple of days to rewrite and redraft my essay. We don't normally get to do this, it's just because they're portfolio essays, and I went to go pick up some of the recommended reading my supervisor gave to me in the Forbes Mellon Library, which is right in the middle of Memorial Court. That is it for this week's video. I hope you found it interesting or helpful, or at least fun to watch. I've been asked very often to share all of the things that I'm reading for my degree, and there's just so much of it that it's kind of impossible to share it all. I hope this video has at least helped a little bit all of those people that have asked to see that. Weeks at Cambridge are so varied. They change so much, so what I did this week is not going to be the same as what I did in a week last term or even last week. Hard to explain, but it's impossible to capture the eclectic nature of studies at Cambridge. But I hope this has gone a little bit of a way to helping everyone who asked for that. In any case, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here. And as ever, comment below any videos that you would like to see.